Lesson 8.4 is on restrictive and non-restrictive clauses, and this should be reviewed because we did this at the beginning of the year. And so in the warm-up, I want you to kind of test your memory and see what you remember. So it says, identify which sentence is restrictive and which is non-restrictive. So pause the video and try that. You are correct if you said the first one was restrictive and the second one was non-restrictive. Again, I am getting all this information from page 146 for these notes. So restrictive means that it is necessary to the sentence, meaning that if you don't have it, the sentence will not make sense. While non-restrictive is the opposite. You don't need it. It's extra information and it is set off with commas. So here's an example. Zach, who is my older brother, just bought a new car. So we can see that there's commas, so we know that this is non-restrictive. The car that he bought is a BMW. This one doesn't have commas, and it is restrictive because we need to know what car the sentence is talking about. It's the car that he bought. So these restrictive and non-restrictive clauses are being used as adjective clauses. They're giving us more information. They're describing the nouns, the car. Okay? And they typically start with relative pronouns. So restrictive ones usually start with that, and non-restrictive ones usually start with which. But they can sometimes have who, like Zach, who is my older brother. Okay? Here is the answers to the first 4 questions on exercise 1. The directions say identify the adjective clause or clauses. Tell whether each clause is restrictive or non-restrictive. So number 1, it says, the Valkyries were goddesses who appeared in Norse myths. So I found the relative pronoun who, so therefore I know that that's the adjective clause, who appeared in Norse myths, and there is no commas, so it's restrictive. Number 2, the goddesses whose primary role was to select the bravest warriors in battle were important in many Norse myths. This one has commas and the relative pronoun whose, so it's that entire phrase, and it is non-restrictive. Number 3, it says, they chose the slain warriors who deserved a glorious afterlife. So I know that who is a relative pronoun, so who deserved a glorious afterlife, and there are no commas, so it is restrictive. And number 4, the chosen warriors were received at Valhalla, which was the grand residence hall of the gods. There are commas and the relative pronoun which, therefore it is non-restrictive. Your job is to do exercise 2 as your exit ticket. Please let me know if you have any questions.